Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dante Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurur Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण devotees. Welcome back to our Chaitanya Charitamrita session. Hope you are able to hear me properly. Hope all of us had a very nice and blissful Nityanand Trayodashi celebration. Haribol! And now the upcoming great festival is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day, Gaur Purnima festival. I think it's on the March 25th of March. So between Nityanand Trayodashi and Gaur Purnima festival, we can prepare our hearts to welcome Lord Chaitanya into our hearts. And we can daily sing the Sachi Sutashtakam prayers also in the evening. We can sing it for the Lord. The two important festivals which our Srila Prabhupada is always telling is appearance day of Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Nityananda's appearance has happened yesterday. We have all prayed, received his blessings, and we will prepare our consciousness for the upcoming Gaur Purnima festival. And through all, we have this Chaitanya Charitamrita session which we are reading, which explains the life and history of Lord Chaitanya as explained by Kaviraj Goswami. And by hearing that, reading that, we can really make our consciousness sweet and sublime for the Gaur Purnima festival also. So we will start our discussion again. We'll continue our discussion. So the topic, the chapter is Madhya Lila, 22nd chapter, entitled Process of Devotional Service. And we are going to read and discuss from the text 22-93 onwards. So the devotional service is the means to achieve Krishna or Krishna Prema, and the process of Krishna consciousness which Srila Prabhupada has given to us, the heart of it, the essence of it is devotional service, where because Srila Prabhupada defines bhakti as devotional service rather than only devotion. So devotional service is the principle here as explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami, which is given to us by Srila Prabhupada also. And so the chapter begins with how devotion service is important and how the Lord is Paramatma in our heart, like that. And it goes on to say that how association of pure devotee is the main means to achieve devotional service. Without essence, without the association of pure devotees of the Lord, it is not possible to actually begin our journey in Krishna consciousness, or begin our journey of devotional service. And now the discussion is happening that association of pure devotees of the Lord means rendering service. Mahat Seva. When we render service to the pure devotees of the Lord, which in turn they direct us to serve the Supreme Lord. And by serving the devotees and the Vaishnavas, how the Supreme Lord is pleased by actually Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasad, by pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna and pleasing the spiritual master, we advance in our spiritual journey. So, if we are looking forward for something, we have a kind of goal, or we have a very strong aspiration to grow in uh, spiritual path, then it is very important for us to consider all these details, because all this adds to our growth in spiritual progress. It marks our spiritual progress. Otherwise, unfortunately, it could always become another kind of. Previously, we were doing time pass with the proper material things. Now we are doing time pass with the spiritual aspects. What I'm saying, it is not that we're belittling the spiritual aspirations, but thing is, if we are not conscious about our progress, we make very gradual progress. Like we will be adding Agyata Sukritis with us, definitely. But if we are in a kind of a thought that, yes, we have got a human form of life, we cannot waste it, we need to make the full use of it, and we will try to gather things which help us uh, fast move in this path, then all these little small concentrations have to be properly taken care of. So the thing what we are discussing is we need association of pure devotees of the Lord, and association means pleasing them. Pleasing them means serving them. So Mahat Seva, we are Vipra. That one concept is there. So we'll continue our reading from the 93rd shloka onwards. I'll share my screen, and devotees, you can raise your hands. 93. Swati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी धन्यवाद प्रणाम
Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
एता सब छाड़ियार वर्णाश्रम धर्म आकिंचन हानाय कृष्णैक शरण Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Without hesitation, one should take exclusive shelter of Lord Krishna with full confidence, giving up bad association and even neglecting the regulative principles of 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. That is to say, one should abandon all material attachment. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So, one is getting, means, see, it is like this. See, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. See, always remember Krishna means never forgetting only. But when it is told always remember and never forget, means it is emphasizing on the point that always remember only Krishna, always, like that. Similarly, take good association means don't take bad association. But when it is emphasized that always be in the association of the devotees of the Lord, and remember to give up bad association. We cannot have, when we come to the temple, we take a good association, and when we get out, when we go to office or something, we closely associate with the non-devotees. See, when we are working, or when we are in our performing our occupational duties, wherever, however it is, so now it is natural and inevitable that we get in touch with different people in this world. But here, what it is spoken is association means opening our heart, or giving our deep hearing to others' words. That time, what happens is we are, it is like a sponge that is soaked in water. We are soaking their consciousness. That is, we consciously and very closely associate. Then, whatever thoughts they have, some people are very strong in pushing their thoughts. Then we kind of absorb those thoughts also. So we go to temple, we try to absorb the spiritual thoughts or new things which we are learning in the path of spiritual progress. But that doesn't get synced in so easily, because by default we have developed this strong conditional situation. So when a non-devotee talks, and if we are very closely associated with them, there is a very much high chances that whatever the negative emotions they pass on to us, it can deeply enter into the core of our heart, because that has become our natural state because of our conditioning. So spiritual things so easily doesn't take deep roots into the consciousness. On repeated practice only, spiritual thoughts take a very deep root in the heart. Otherwise, easily they don't take strong roots in the core of our heart. They are generally, they come in, they go out, they come in, then they go out. If they have to take really deep roots, we have to consciously practice and deeply keep thinking, discussing, and contemplating about it. That time there is chance that those start taking roots into the core of our heart. But when it comes to bad association, a little interest, a little more interest, with conscious and continuous interest, that's all. We are sucked into their association. So that is what we are consciously told here, that we should avoid bad association. Also, breaking of any of the varnas, we should be careful of even neglecting the regulative principles of the varnas and action. This is very important, that follow your dharma, follow your principles, regulative principles, and give up bad association. This is very important. This is first thing. Then when you are in that kind, then take good association. So all positive things we are depositing, negatives we are not associating. That is, you want to make money. First thing is stop spending money. So, see, if we are in a zero thing, if we are spending money, also we go to the negative. But if it is first principle is stop spending money, then at least we are where we are. Now you go and add money. So then it's always a positive approach. If we add and then again if we spend, we add, we spend, then we don't know where exactly we are. We're in zero or we are in positive or we are negative. So that is the kind of concept that has been told here. So ideally, non-devotional material attachment we should give up. That is, it means that, as I already told, that in occupational performing occupational duties we may have to associate, but attachment or deep heart to heart connection, those kind of things we should be consciously avoiding in order to make progress in devotional service. Okay, next one, Arun Gupta Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः। Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After giving up all kinds of religious and occupational duties, if you come to me, the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, and take shelter, and I shall give you protection from all of life's sinful reactions. Do not worry. Purport: this is a quotation from Bhagavad Gita 18.66, spoken by Lord Krishna. For an explanation, refer to Madhya Lila 8.63. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So, point is, Krishna also in Bhagavad Gita he has told that how in order to progress you need to surrender to me. So there is a different explanation altogether for that. For now we will consider that in the line when we are talking already about the association of devotees, and when it is instructed to us that do not associate closely with non-devotees and do not even think of breaking any of the regulative principles of a particular varna or ashrama, that concept, when you are accepting as it is a surrender to the Supreme Lord. And when we do that, when we consciously practice it, it may not be very easy, but when we are doing it, then we get the mercy of Lord. We get the mercy of the spiritual master. We get the mercy of the Vaishnavas. So when in this path of devotional service, wherever we are, some may be a little ahead, some may be a little behind, some may be in the beginning stage, some may be almost at the end. In every step, wherever we are, in that position, if we are trying our best to make progress from whichever position we are, Lord, it draws the attention of the Supreme Lord, and that is a mark of success to us. We need not necessarily be there at the top, only then Lord will consider. It is not like that. Wherever we are, from whatever conditioning we have, we are making a sincere try to go ahead by following all these principles. Lord, we draw the attention of the Supreme Lord, we draw the mercy of the Supreme Lord, and that is for us success. Sudha Mataji next.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare
Krishna.
Bhaktavatsala Kritajna Samartha Vadanyaya Tena Krishna Chadi Pandita Nahi Bhaje Anya. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Krishna is very kind to his devotees. He is always very grateful and magnanimous, and he possesses all abilities. A learned man does not give up Krishna to worship anyone else. Taught by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. An intelligent person gives up the company of those who are attached to women and bereft of Krishna consciousness. One should be free from all kinds of material attachment and should take full shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna is very kind to his devotees. He is always grateful and he never forgets the service of a devotee. He is also completely opulent and all powerful. Why then should one take shelter of a demigod and leave Lord Krishna's shelter? If one worships a demigod and leaves Krishna, he must be considered the lowest fool. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
So
Krishna.
very beautiful it is told that when we know the position of the Supreme Lord, Bhoktaram Yagyatapasa Sarva Lokamaheshwaram Suhradam Sarvabhutanam Gyatamam Shantirvachati. If we know he is the cause of all causes, the he's the cause of all causes, he is the supreme beneficiary. Everything belongs to him, and he is our dearest friend. See, if you have a friend who is Shada Aishwarya Purna, full in all the six opulences, full, and he's the cause of all causes, and he's the entire cosmos creation, everything that exists belongs to him, and he's supremely merciful, then what else do we need? So point is, Lord Krishna is that one who understands that will take shelter of him alone, because anyone else, it could be demigods or human beings, everybody cannot have everything. They may have expertise in one area, they may be able to fulfill your desire of a one particular area, but but Krishna is the superlative degree. It is in the topmost, is the super class it is. These are all the subclasses. So if you understand that, then everybody naturally and automatically will take shelter of that Krishna rather than going to the different branches. Shobha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, call my name.
Yes, Shobha Mataji. Office Shobha Mataji.
Okay. Sloka number 96.
96.
Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Kaha पंडितस्त्व अपराम शरणं समीय भक्त प्रियात्रित कृह सुहृत कृधा ज्ञात सर्वान् दधाति सुहृतो भजतो अभिकामान् आत्मानम् अपि उपचया पचयाौ न यस्य. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. My dear Lord, you are very affectionate to your devotees. You are also a truthful and grateful friend. Where is that learned man who can give you up and surrender to someone else? You fulfill all the desires of your devotees, so much so that sometimes you even give yourself to them. Still, you neither increase or decrease by such activity. Purport. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 48th chapter, 26th sloka. Haribol. Thank you, Mataji. Dandavats.
Thank you. So from different shlokas, the point that is emphasized is the greatness of the Supreme Personality. It's the greatness of the Supreme Lord Krishna. How he is the greatest of all, and he's the kindest and most merciful. That is even he is grateful to his devotees. Whatever small service we have done, it is it is in our account eternally, and Lord remembers that small service also. Is there any person, any demigod, anyone who remembers all of good things which we have done to them? We only sometimes think, no, now they are talking like this. Last year we did so much, and they don't even remember. So everybody goes through this kind of ups and downs. Or if they tell thank you also, after some time, if we do something wrong, they'll forget whatever we have done. Nobody is eternally grateful. There are sometimes nobody even acknowledges. Sometimes they acknowledge, but some other time, over period of time, they'll forget it, or something negative adds, though they'll completely forget it. Nobody tells that yes, that day you did this. Keep on always in. No, nobody can keep it in mind. Only Lord Krishna can do. So all these verses are backing for the Supreme Lord is the most merciful Supreme Lord. And so one's intelligence means one has to take shelter of that kind Lord. Yeah, next one, Krishnamurti Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Yes.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
वि- वि-
97.
विघ्न जाने रहाया यादि कृष्ण गुण ज्ञान अन्य त्याजी भजे ताते उद्धव प्रमाण. Translation basic Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Whenever an experienced person develops real knowledge of Krishna and his transcendental qualities, he naturally gives up all other engagements and renders service to the Lord. Uddhava gives evidence concerning this. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah. So in the process of devotional service, when we are all practicing, uh, when we experience that kind of happiness, bliss by our surrender to the Supreme Lord, then naturally and automatically one gives up all other engagements. So it is not always possible to hold a stick and keep on telling, follow the four regulations, follow every single day. If you have to follow, or every single day give up bad as well, every single day think Krishna is that every single day it is not possible. Only it is not possible to tell also, and if somebody is telling us also, for us it is not possible to continue. The point that we are able to follow or be in this path for some time, it only means that we have experienced the bliss, the happiness, the fulfillment in this path. We have experienced the nature of the Supreme Lord in this path. Everybody in our life, we have experienced that the kindness of the Supreme Lord. When it is spoken about kindness, when you feel that your Lord is, if it is just Lord's mercy, it is not possible otherwise. Or in every moment when you are seeing the Lord's hand, then only we are able to convincingly speak and able to follow in this path. Only theoretically initially it may be possible to push on for some time, but it doesn't last for like for years and all. It does not last only if it is theory. Only by experience it comes. Means we have actually experienced that tinge of Krishna's love, and we have put some effort, and we have Lord has reciprocated. So that combination only is working. So here Uddhava gives evidence concerning this. Maybe he is giving. Let's see what's Uddhava is trying to tell. Arun Gupta Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. See now. Yes.
Aho aho baki yam stana kalakutam जिघां सया पाययद अपि असाधवी लेभे गतिम धात्री उचितां ततो अन्यम काम वा दयालुम शरणं व्रजेम.
Very
Translation.
important verses.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, how wonderful it is! Putna, the sister of Bakasur, wanted to kill Krishna by smearing deadly poison on her breasts and having Krishna take it. Nonetheless, Lord Krishna accepted her as his mother, and thus she attained the destination befitting Krishna's mother. Of whom should I take shelter but Krishna, who is most merciful?
This is one of the biggest glorification of Krishna. May big Mahatmas have used this verse to glorify Krishna, because if we consider Aho Bhakyam Stanaka, that Putana, we know the story of Putana, Krishna Lila, how she wanted to kill Krishna and how finally Krishna delivered. This much we know. But now to see the situation, Putana has come with an evil intention to kill Krishna, and Krishna knows about it. And somebody does not like us, only we don't like them. Somebody hates us, we also hate them. Somebody wants to kill us, we run away, or we want to kill them, or somebody at least can kill them. But can we even think that somebody has come to kill us, and he has put her in the highest position of mother? So that's something which limited brains, which our conditional existence cannot even comprehend. We can understand this fact only because acharyas have told us very this thing, and we have heard about it, and about repeatedly hearing, we are able to appreciate it to a certain degree. But the completeness, that full essence, to understand and get deep into our hearts, it's very difficult. Because how merciful is Krishna that Putana had come to kill him, and he accepted, put her in the position of mother. So if that is the kindness of Krishna, So we too do not want to kill Krishna, and we want to surrender. We are not able to surrender. We are struggling in this path, and we are trying hard, and we are actually trying to be sincere, and we are trying here, there, praying hard and thinking that Krishna, Krishna, today I slept, today also I slept, today again I slept, yes, today I have been planning and promising and trying, and it's not happening, but I want you, help. Like this, if we are doing, naturally and automatically we can completely get Krishna's mercy and Krishna's shelter. When Putana can get, why will we not get? So that is, so from our side, we need to be sincere and serious in this path and follow what the principles and rules and regulations of the sadhana bhakti, avoiding bad association, being a mahat seva, serving the pure devotee of the Lord, following the four regulative principles, understanding Krishna is the supreme, and trying to follow and trying to be sincere, as honest as possible, as sincere as possible, and then Krishna will definitely accept us. So much hope giving this verse is actually. Okay, Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. शरणागतेर अकिंचनेन एक शरणागतेर अकिंचनेन एकैलक्षण तारामध्ये प्रवेशये आत्मसमर्पण. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. There are two kinds of devotees: those who are fully satiated and free from all material desires, and those who are fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord. Their qualities are one and the same, but those who are fully surrendered to Krishna's lotus feet are qualified with another transcendental quality, Atma Samarpana, full surrender without reservation. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
See, there are two kinds of those are fully satiated, free from all material desires, and those are fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord. Their qualities are one and the same, but those who are fully surrendered to the Lord's lotus feet are qualified with another transcendental qualities, Atma Samarpana, full surrender without reservation. See, this is two different things. It looks same, but they are not same. Very difficult actually we differentiate. Both are devotees and fully satiated and free from all means. Here it is more of talking about. Kind of impersonalism where I don't want this, 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 I don't want anything, means of this material world. So I'm means people, yogis and all, they are completely free from this material desires, and so only they are sitting in Himalayas or here there they are sitting. If they had material desires, it would be very difficult, not to some extent. So mentally don't know, but at least they are free. So they are one kind of thing, who are yogis, who are thinking about or meditating on the Paramatma in the heart like that, but they are completely detached themselves from this material world. Okay. But there are other who are fully surrendered. Fully surrendered means what? You are living in this material world, performing your occupational duties, going through all the situations, but in every moment you are thinking that Krishna, I am yours. Krishna, protect me. Krishna, help. Krishna, I am surrendered. Let me never leave your lotus feet. Let me always be attached to your lotus. Let me always serve it. Give me the opportunity to serve. Please, Krishna, I'm sorry. So all the time, Krishna, I'm sorry. Consciousness is always Krishna, and Krishna, I want to surrender myself to you. So with that kind of concept, if he is also a devotee. So what happens that time? Naturally and automatically, he is free from all the material desires and material attachments. There is no, from the consciousness level, only it is removed. So for other person, it could be it could so happen that he is free from this all material attachment. He is not associating with anything, but mentally, how deep he is not attached to material things, we don't know. But here in this case, when a devotee is surrendered, in the deep depth of his consciousness also, it is only Krishna. So what happens? He acquires another transcendental quality, that's Atma Samarpana, full surrender without reservation. Anything. That Sikshashtakam last verse is there, no? What is that last verse? What's that? Ashlishava Padaratam Pinashtumam Adrashanam Marmatam Karoto Yatha Tathava Vidhatu Lampato Mat Prananatastu Saeva Napara. In any condition of life, let me just surrender to you. That is special quality of that kind of a devotee. What is this? Radhika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. No, I was very tempted with Aho Bakiyam, so I raised my hand. So, yeah, I'll read now. No problem. Hare Krishna. अनुकूल्यस्य संकल्प प्रतिकूल्यस्य वर्जनं रक्षिष्या कीर्तिविश्वासो गोपृत्वे वरणं तथा आत्मनिक्षेपकार्पण्ये सद्विद्या शरणागतिः. Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada.
100 verses here, and this Shadvida Sharanagati, we have a song written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur also, very beautiful song, which explains on these 6 important principles. Mataji, you read the translation.
Sure, Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The 6 divisions of surrender are the acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service, the rejection of unfavorable things, the conviction that Krishna will protect you, the acceptance of Lord as one's guardian or master, full self-surrender and humility. Hare Krishna Mataji.
These are the 6 important principles of surrender. This which Bhaktivinoda Thakur also explains in detail.
Mataji, your voice suddenly went down.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear?
Now it's clear, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So you can read the purport, because in the purport, Prabhupada explains more about this 6 angas of surrender. Please.
Sure, Mataji. Can I request someone to do, Mataji, because mobile I'm trying to swap left and right. Somebody else can read. The
Swati Mataji. Swati.
Hare Krishna Mataji. One who is fully surrendered.
Thank you, Mataji.
One who is fully surrendered is qualified with the 6 following characteristics. The devotee has to accept everything that is favorable for the rendering of transcendental loving service to the Lord. He must reject everything unfavorable to the Lord's service. This is also called renunciation. 3. A devotee must be firmly convinced that Krishna will give him protection. No one else can actually give one protection. And being firmly convinced of this is called faith. This kind of faith is...
Faith means Shraddha. So Shraddha is the first step for anybody to practice in this path of Krishna consciousness. If that element of Shraddha is not there, it is not possible to start on it. So many people cannot start Krishna consciousness because that element of Shraddha is not there. We may not be qualified to have big faith, but first, like sometimes in theorems, we have to prove something, no? That time we assume, in these theorems, so we assume that this is correct, these 2 things we assume, and we start off. And then at the end, we prove that how those 1 and 2 conditions which we had assumed are actually correct. This is how it sometimes in derivations of theorems, it works like that. First we assume, then we prove, and then we prove that those assumptions were correct. Similarly, that element of faith, if we do not have also, sometimes we have to listen and put that element of faith and start our journey. And in the progress of our journey, that assumption which we had actually strengthens and takes shelter in the core of our heart. And then it is possible for us to continue further. Suppose that element of faith never fructifies, then we cannot actually progress further in any path. In any path, we may have that element of faith. Sometimes for hair care or skin care or something, we put faith, we buy something, we try to apply something, and if it does not work, that faith goes off, correct na? So everything we start with that little faith. We choose a school, we choose a college, we have that faith that they will we have paid 2-3 lakhs rupees, we have the faith that they will teach us something. So that element of faith, see, in the regular, in our day-to-day life, that element of faith, actually we have to put. We cannot say that we need a full proof before starting anything. Like now, the college fees, if they ask, if we are not ready to pay the fees because we don't know next year in college what can happen, if earthquake comes, college only goes, then what to do, then all this, if we starting, can we even start studying in the college? It's not possible. So that element faith is important. So here it is telling being firmly convinced, this is called as faith. So the element of faith in Krishna's protection. Krishna will definitely protect me in all situations and circumstances. Sometimes we slip, then see, Krishna did not protect me only, so I am leaving Krishna. That is foolishness actually. In the broader picture, we should be very clearly understanding that Krishna's protection is there. Like a parent is protecting a child, that also the parent all the time 100% protection cannot give, but nonetheless, a parent can give protection, but still the child may fall. But the child knows that parent is there at the end of the day. So that kind of a strong faith we need to develop and cultivate in Krishna. Mataji, continue it.
Yes, ma'am. This kind of faith is different from the faith of an impersonalist who wants to merge into Brahman effulgence in order to benefit by cessation of repeated birth and death. A devotee wants to remain always in Lord's service. In this way, Krishna is merciful to his devotee and gives him all protection from the dangers found on the path of devotional service.
That
Number
is
4.
guaranteed. Our path of devotional service, if we are sincere and we want to progress, Krishna will make sure that we will be able to perform our devotional service in any circumstance. Yes, Mataji.
The devotee should accept Krishna as his supreme maintainer and master. He should not think that he is being protected by demigod. He should depend only on Krishna, considering him the only protector. The devotee must be firmly convinced that within the three worlds he has no protector or maintainer other than Krishna. Number 5. Self-surrender means remembering that one's activities and desires are not independent. The devotee is completely dependent on Krishna and he acts and thinks as Krishna desires. Number
So
6.
when a person who is surrendered to Krishna, when in our life, in our simple lives only, when we are focused in our devotion service and we are really prayerful and we really want to serve, then in any situation, I heard this also one quote somewhere I read that when the sadhana bhakta is very sincere in his practice and he is always remembering Krishna, that the real wisdom comes into his heart actually. So at challenging situation, we may not hear Krishna's voice directly, but in challenging situations, Krishna gives us the right intelligence. He gives us the right association to do the right things at the right time. So that intelligence or that kind of association, that kind of thing Krishna gives if we are surrendered and if we are sincere and we do not have ulterior motives and we are trying hard to do best in our sadhana bhakti. So that time Krishna gives us that intelligence. Yes.
The devotee is meek and humble. The Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matta smritirjnanamopohanam cha vedescha sarvair ahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart. From me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am knower of the Vedas, situated in everyone's heart. Krishna deals differently according to the living entity's position. The living entity's position is to be under the protection of illusionary energy or
Mataji, Hare Krishna. I was completely disconnected from the 6th point. Can you read it?
Yes, Mataji, it is a. Can you share, Mataji? It is a 15.15 shloka, Sarvasya Chaham.
Wait 1 minute. I'll share 1 minute. Just be like that. Here there is a little situation. 1 second. Krishna is testing. Okay, share. Oh, 1 minute. Huh? Just be
It's
like
okay.
that.
It's okay, Mataji. Take your own time.
What is this? 2000. Okay. Okay. You're able to see?
Yes, Mataji.
1 second. Where we were? Sarvasya Chaham. Yes.
Yes, Mataji. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto मत्त स्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैर् अहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृत् वेदविदेव चाहम्. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Situated in everyone's heart, Krishna deals come differently according to the living entity's position. The living entity's position is to be under protection.
Can say, no?
Yes, Mataji.
Hmm.
The living entity's position is to be under the protection of illusionary energy or under Krishna's personal protection. When a living entity is fully surrendered, he is under the direct protection of Krishna, and Krishna gives him all intelligence by which he can advance in spiritual realization. The non-devotee, however, being under the protection of illusionary energy, increasingly forgets his relationship with Krishna. Sometimes it is asked how Krishna causes one to forget. Krishna personally causes his devotee to forget material activities, and through the agency of Maya, Krishna causes the non-devotee to forget his devotional service to the Lord. This is called apohana. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So
Thank you.
when we as devotees are fully surrendered to the Supreme Lord, and over a period of time, naturally and automatically, we are now no more inclined so much to material things. See, now so many people are non-vegetarians, and now they have accepted the process of Krishna consciousness. Now they don't even look towards the non-vegetarian. They don't like it. They don't want it. Naturally and automatically, from their deep from their heart, they don't want. They completely hatred towards it. So that kind of uh, thought and desire Krishna only gives. Similarly, those are so evil and against the Supreme Lord, and they are talking so much against him. They get all the evidences to understand that yeah, Krishna is not the person to whom we are supposed to surrender. So then Krishna, so then they which whatever deep desires we have, Krishna tries to fulfill it. Okay, next one. Next one. Now, who has raised your hands? I can't see.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I'll read it.
Yes, Arun Gupta Prabhu.
तवास्मिति वदन् वाच तथैव मनसा विदं तत्स्थानम् आश्रितास्तन्व मोदते शरणागतः. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One whose body is fully surrendered takes shelter at the holy place where Krishna had his pastimes, and he prays to the Lord, "My Lord, I am yours." Understanding this with this mind, he enjoys spiritual bliss. Purport this, the last two verses appear in the Hari Bhakti Vilas 11.4.17 to 4.3.
So, the devotee of the Lord, in every moment, he remembers Krishna. When he goes to Dham, he sees the place, he remembers the pastimes of Krishna, and he surrenders to the will that Krishna. When you go to Vrindavan, we can say, Krishna, I am yours, I want to be yours, I want to be a part of your eternal pastimes in the spiritual world. So, these kind of deep, sincere prayers one can offer, and Krishna will definitely consider. Next one.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Sharanalaya Kare
You
Krishna
are able to see my
Samar.
screen, huh?
Yes, Mataji.
I am not able to see. Yes, okay, yes. Yes.
Sharanalaya Kare Krishna Atma Samarpana Krishna Tare Kare Tata Kale Atma Sama. Translation of Divine Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When a devotee thus fully surrenders unto Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna accepts him as one of his confidential associates. Thank you,
Jai.
Mataji.
Next one. Somebody read. I can't see anybody's hand.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes. You only align yourself and read. Yes.
मर्त्यो यदा त्यक्ता समस्त कर्म निवेदितात्मा विकृतिष्ठो मे तदामृतात्म्यं प्रतिपद्यो मानो मायात्मा भुव्य च कल्पते वही. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. The living entity who is subjected to birth and death attains immortality when he gives up all material activities, dedicates his life to the execution of my order, and acts according to my directions. In this way, he becomes fit to enjoy the spiritual bliss derived from exchanging loving mellows
Exchanging.
with me.
Hmm.
Derived from exchanging loving mellows with me. Hare Krishna Mataji. Shall I read purport, Mataji?
But yes, yes.
Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.29.34. Krishna was advising his most confidential servant Uddhava about Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. These concern one's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the activities of that relationship, as well as the perfection of life. The Lord also described the characteristics of confidential devotees. Hare Krishna
So
Mataji.
now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking to Sanatana Goswami about the Sambandha Jnana. And this verse is from where Krishna speaks to Uddhava about Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. So the concepts of Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami brings from the Srimad Bhagavatam into Chaitanya Charitamrita because they are fitting into the same subject matter. Next one.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Krishnaraj Kaviraj
Dandavat.
Goswami ki jai. Text number
Yes.
104. ये बेसाधना भक्ति लक्षणा सोना सनाथना यह है ते पाई कृष्ण प्रेमा महादाना. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Sanatana, please now hear about the regulative principles from the execution of devotional service. By this process, one can attain the highest perfection of love of Godhead, which is the most desirable treasure. Hari Bol Dandavat Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna Mataji.
About the regulative principles for the execution of devotional service. By this process, one can attain the highest perfection of love of Godhead, which is the most desirable treasure. So we know that Mahaprabhu is talking to Sanatana Goswami and he is kind of telling that by following this, one can achieve the best. Next one. Who wants to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam.
Yes.
Kriti
Yes.
sadhaya कृति साध्या भवेत् साध्या भावासा साधनाभिधा नित्यसिद्धस्य भावस्य प्रकृत्यं कृति साध्यता. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When transcendental devotional service by which love for Krishna is attained is executed by the senses, it is called sadhana bhakti or the regulative discharge of devotional service. Such devotion eternally exists within the heart of every living entity. The awakening of this eternal devotion is the potentiality of devotional service in practice. Purport.
The point is, one
Purport
is
by
sadhana bhakti, one is the theory part of it, one is the practical part of it. When consciously, by following all the principles of devotional service we are practicing, the one develops an eternal devotion to the Supreme Lord, and awakening of this devotion is a potentiality of the devotional service in practice. So one who is following this process of devotional service in practice, it is capable of awakening the eternal love within one's heart. Purport.
Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This verse is found in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.2. Because living entities are minute, active parts and parcels of the Lord, devotional service is already present within them in a dormant condition. Devotional service begins with Shravanam, Kirtanam, hearing and chanting. When a man is sleeping, he can be awakened by sound vibration. Therefore, every conditioned soul should be given the chance to hear the Hare Krishna mantra chanted by a pure Vaishnava. One who hears the Hare Krishna mantra thus vibrated is awakened to spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness. In this way, one's mind gradually becomes purified as stated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Cheto Darpana Marjana. When the mind is purified, the senses are also purified. Instead of using the senses for sense gratification, the awakened devotee employs the senses in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. This is the process by which dormant love for Krishna is awakened. Thank you, Mataji.
So here the discussion about the ways of performing sadhana bhakti starting from Shravana Kirtana. Shravana essentially includes hearing and chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And by following the proper process of chanting the holy names of the Lord, it purifies our consciousness. I mean, the consciousness is purified because we have the eternal nature or the dormant love of Krishna consciousness is already there in our heart, and it is just covered over by the material conditionings. By chanting the holy names of the Lord sincerely and trying to perform devotional service to the best of our ability, the purification of the heart happens, and natural and automatic dormant love of Krishna, which is within our heart, already awakens. And when it awakens, then there is a natural attraction for the Supreme Lord, the service of the Supreme Lord, for the devotees of the Supreme Lord, and there is natural detachment from other material enjoyment of the senses and the sense objects. That becomes very natural because that is our original constitutional position which was covered over, and now because of the sincere Shravanam and Kirtan, that has been purified, and we try to align ourselves with the natural and consistent constitutional position. And this process by which dormant love of Krishna is awakened. Next one.
Hare Krishna Mataji. श्रवणादि क्रियातारा स्वरूप लक्षण तटस्थ लक्षणे उपजाया प्रेमधना. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The spiritual activities of hearing, chanting, remembering, and so forth are the natural characteristics of devotional service. The marginal characteristic is that it awakens pure love for Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So naturally, when we follow these principles, then automatically our natural love for Krishna gets awakened. Next one.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Nitya Siddhya Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunaya Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaya Udaya. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki. Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of the living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, this love naturally awakens. Hare Krishna
This we
Mataji.
just spoke. Next one.
Ajay Mataji.
Hmm.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Mataji.
Someone.
Yeah, okay. एता साधना भक्ति द्वैता प्रकारा एक वैदी भक्ति राग अनुग भक्ति आरा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are two processes of practical devotional service. One is regulatory devotional service and the other is spontaneous devotional service. Thank you, Mataji.
Regulatory devotional service is sadhana bhakti, and spontaneous devotional service is raga nuga. Next one.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Raga hina jana bhaje shastre ra agneya vede hi bhakti bali tare.
Vaidi.
Vedi bhakti bali tare sarva shastre gaya. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Those who have not attained the platform of spontaneous attachment in devotional service render devotional service under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master according to the regulative principles mentioned in the revealed scriptures. According to the revealed scriptures, the kind of devotional service is called Vedhi Bhakti. Purport. In the beginning, one has to hear from a bona fide spiritual master. This is favorable for advancing in devotional service. According to this process, one hears, chants, remembers, and engages in deity worship, acting under the directions of the spiritual master. These are the essential primary activities of devotional service. Devotional service must not be executed for some material purpose. One should not even have a desire to merge into the absolute truth. One has to render such service out of love. Ahetuki, apratihata devotional service must be without ulterior motives. Then material conditions cannot check it. Gradually, one can rise to the platform of spontaneous loving service. A child is sent to school by force to receive an education, but when he gets a little taste of education at an advanced age, he automatically participates and becomes a learned scholar. One cannot force a person to become a scholar, but sometimes force is used in the beginning. A child is forced to go to school and read and write according to the instructions of his teachers. Such is the difference between Vedhi Bhakti and spontaneous Bhakti. Dormant love for Krishna exists in everyone's heart, and it simply has to be awakened by the regulative process of devotion service. One has to learn to use a typewriter by following the regulative principles of the typing book. One has to place his fingers on the key which one has to place his finger on the key uh, in such a way and practice, but when one becomes adept, he can type swiftly and correctly without even looking at the keys. Similarly, one has to follow the rules and regulations of devotion service as they are set down by the spiritual master. Then one can come to the point of spontaneous loving service. This love is already there within the heart of everyone. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema. Spontaneous service is not artificial. One simply has to come to that platform by rendering devotion service according to the regulative principles. Thus, one has to practice hearing and chanting and follow the other regulative principles by washing the temple, cleansing oneself, rising early in the morning, attending Mangala Aarti, and so on. If one does not come to the platform of spontaneous service in the beginning, he must adopt regular service according to the instructions of the spiritual master. This regulative service is called Vedihi Bhakti. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So very beautiful. What is been told here is very with examples only. Prabhupada nicely he tells. One is the example of the school going child who goes to school not out of personal interest, but then he has been told to go, so he will go like that. And what was the second example? What is the second example?
Typing, ma'am, Mataji. Typewriter, using typewriter.
So beautiful, because at that time he was using the typewriter. Na? So that sadhana bhakti is like searching for the fingers and practice, then automatically that first typewriters are there now. That is spontaneous love. So it's comparing to the realistic things in this world about sadhana bhakti and spontaneous bhakti, and he says that spontaneous bhakti cannot be imitated. It just by the natural and by practice of sadhana bhakti one can get that spontaneous love for Krishna. And actually, going further, he may also say that Ragana, the devotees of Vrindavan or devotees, eternal associates of the Lord, for them, they don't have to practice sadhana bhakti. For them, it is natural. In every breath, they have Krishna. That is there. It is in every breath. But people like us who are more conditioned, for us, chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and following the principles and following the Krishna consciousness procedures is like an artificial imposition to our dormant brain. So for that artificial imposition, we need an initial bigger time, means whatever it is based on the rules and regulations, following the instructions of the spiritual master, following the instructions of the senior devotees, we need to do it. And then we may achieve the point of Raganoga Bhakti. But sometimes devotees by natural, every breath, automatically they have that Krishna thing in their heart. So they are a different category altogether. But right now, what Prabhupada is emphasizing is by properly practicing our sadhana bhakti, started from hearing and chanting, one can develop that deep desire for Krishna's love, and that deep depth of Krishna consciousness can be increased. That is what Prabhupada is emphasizing. Grantra, will end here now. We will end here.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Grantra Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki jai. Vancha.
Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha kripa
Sindhubhyavcha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nice class.
Hare Krishna. Dhanavad. Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji ki jai.